Hello, we are an organization inclusive from a University Complutense de Madrid, and we prepared a trip project presentation on the topic of racism at our university. What motivated us the most to investigate this topic was the fact that living in Madrid and walking on the streets of the city, we can see a big diversity of ethnicities and larger number of migrants. However, once we enter the university campus, the diversity is all gone, and there is a predominant majority of white students. That is why we decided to focus our presentation on the topic of underrepresentation of immigrant students and students of color at the faculties of UCM. The main objectives of our TRIP project are to uncover and combat underlying acts of racism at our university, amplify minority voices, focus on human connections rather than socially perceived differences, and last but not least, be an advocate and mediator between students experiencing acts of exclusion at the university institutions.
As part of a primary research for our TRIP project on the topic of racism, we had a look at a study about underrepresentation of immigrant students at UCM. The targeted population of this study were UCM students, both in bachelor's or master's degree. The aim was to find respondents with as many various backgrounds and ethnicities as possible.
Nonetheless, respondents of the study included 68.8% of people with a white ethnicity, 18.8% of Asian respondents, 6.3 participants with Arab background, and 6.3% of respondents with a mixed background. This data on ethnicity shows a representation of four different ethnic.
One of the questions in the study was if they feel that they belong at UCM. Respondents of a white background feel on average 3.36 out of 5 as they belong at the UCM. In comparison, Arabic respondents as well as mixed background respondents on average indicated 2 and Asian 3.3. Therefore, Arabic and mixed background respondents feel as if they least belong to the UCM, followed by Asian respondents and white respondents as the ones who feel the most to belonging at the UCM. Interestingly, Asian and white respondents are on average very similar, with only zero point 0.6 points difference. This is caused by a significant variation between the responses of white participants, with some of them indicating their answer to be as low as 2. Possible reasons for this might be cultural differences, since the vast majority of respondents are from various cultural backgrounds.
The second question is the following. I feel I have to work harder than my peers to achieve academic success. Here we can see the biggest difference between responses indicated by white background participants and respondents of color. 1 means strongly disagree and 5 means strongly agree. White people have on average a point of 1, Arab people have on average a point of 3, Asian people indicate 2.6, and mixed people indicate 3 points. Thus, it seems that students of color have to work harder compared to their peers to achieve academic success.
Another question was I can comfortably talk about my social and cultural background. In this question, there do not seem to be many differences. However, the Arab response of 2 is significantly different to 4.09 and 4 indicated by white and Asian respondents.
The last question is the following. During your studies at UCM, have you ever felt discriminated against? The majority of white ethnicity respondents indicated never as their answer. All Asian respondents indicated sometimes. The majority of Arab respondents indicated rarely as their answer, and one respondent of mixed background indicated sometimes. The data shows that students with a white ethnicity feel the least discriminated, while colored students indicated that either sometimes or rarely they have felt discriminated against.
Our creative solution would be based on creating a student run organization that would be dedicated to uncovering and combating underlying acts of racism at university. We will be working closely with the heads of diversity and inclusion. We will be building more diverse community through arranging links with other UCM organizations such as Afro Kawanza. At the same time, we will be creating weekly meetups where every student, professor, and staff member will be welcomed. To make it easier for students to find us, we created a poster to put on campus grounds. In order to educate others on racism and how to be allies, we started an Instagram account. It contains information and resources for those willing to educate themselves. We also post about other multicultural events happening on campus that people could visit.
Now, our final reflections and future steps. Our findings emphasize the significance of a comprehensive examination of UCM's inclusion policies to ensure a university environment that is fair and respectful of diversity. We want to focus on creating an established student organization, one that works together with UCM institutions. Our media presence will help us receiving more support and awareness. It will help to improve transparency and foster inclusion and significant change in the long term. We thank you for your attention and hope you will support us on our mission.